Alongside Brent Hubbs, I'm Austin Price for the 2-minute drill on this Tuesday. Got to listen to Brian Jean-Mary, Tennessee's linebackers coach, and I got to a trio of defensive backs, one playing nickel, one playing corner, and one playing safety. Your overall impressions from practice, though, before we get going?
Well, I thought from a practice standpoint, a little bit more energy as you expect. First day in pads, you could see a little more bounce.
Especially out of the linemen.
Those offensive linemen, defensive linemen, they're ready to hit somebody other than a shell or other than a blocking dummy. So you saw a little more intensity there. Again, I think from a quarterback standpoint, I don't know that there's great separation between those top 2 or 3 guys. I still think Joe Milton's starting to get more comfortable with his accuracy. The arm's always been there. I don't mean that. I thought it was interesting. He would throw or run a couple of reps, and then he went straight back to Heupel and really focused on some footwork stuff. So they're trying to. It looks like they're trying to clean something specifically up with him with some footwork stuff. But overall, I thought the routes versus air was pretty solid today. And then, the focus was going to be on, hey, let's get after it 9-on-8 after we get kicked out of practice, which is what they did.
That's exactly right. I got to talk to Brian Jean-Mary after practice. You talk about a guy that feels different. I mean, what he had in the spring to work with and what he has now. I mean, I know it's not like infinitely better, but it's still way better than what he had to deal with in the spring.
Well, he talked about it, Austin. He talked about having 5 guys at most, because either guys were banged up or nobody here, and then all of a sudden you're bringing in, not only are you bringing in new people, you're bringing in people with more experience than what you had. And I think that's what you're seeing with Juwan Mitchell. It sounds like for this coaching staff, there's so much evaluation taking place Thursday and Tuesday with those 2 scrimmages, because we keep hearing, Austin, let us get to the first scrimmage in terms of any kind of pecking order or all that. But I got the impression, and maybe you got a different impression, he likes this linebacker group, believes they still got work to do, but you saw a little bit more confidence out of him today than I thought you saw in the spring when he visited with the media.
Jeremy Banks not at practice today. What can you tell us about him?
Nothing. I mean, he'll be back tomorrow. Just a simple thing he had to take care of. No issue, not in trouble. He's not hurt, all that. He had to take care of one personal thing this morning. Should have got it taken care of. Should be back on the practice field, ready to go. Expect him to scrimmage on Thursday. I think it's a big day for him. Because,
sure it is.
When you talk to Brian today, the linebackers coach, slow him down, right? Slow him down, which is hard to get that guy to do. You know his personality. Slowing down is not really in the DNA.
No, it's not. I tell you, guys that are on the fast track, and that's some of it's because of their speed, or those 3 DBs we talked to. Talked to Deshaun Rucker. Speed, obviously, something that's going to be big for him. He's repping solely at corner, and he played predominantly safety in high school, so there's a learning curve there for him. Talked to Christian Charles, who's repping predominantly at safety. I know the staff really is high on him. Says both safety positions are interchangeable. And then there's Danico Slaughter, who started the first game against South Carolina last year before being benched. Really didn't find much playing time the rest of the year. He's kind of pushing Theo Jackson at that nickel spot. It's basically, right now anyway, those 2 and then walk on Romello Edwards.
Remember this about Danico Slaughter. Willie Martinez recruited him some coming out of high school. He's always liked him. I think for Danico, it's about getting the confidence back. I think he lost his confidence last year. It got worse week to week, and that's why you didn't see him play. Here's my question to you. How much does Rucker or Charles factor into the special teams game for Tennessee as a potential playmaker for those guys, in addition to adding depth to the defensive backfield?
Well, I think Christian Charles will find his way on the teams. I'm not sure he's a returning guy, whereas potentially, with Deshaun Rucker, he could be a return guy and a guy that they could help, they could really factor in on maybe punt returns, a spot that maybe Tennessee could be looking for somebody.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see those 2 athletes, because this staff really likes their speed, and we know in talking to staff, when you talk about pecking order of things in terms of recruiting profile, speed, and then some more speed.
That's exactly right. So we're going to speed on out of here. He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price.